Amy, let me tell you about a magical place that is so exactly designed to be enclosed space, year-round fun for the whole family that I bet you already know what I'm going to say before I even say the name. Let's say it together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Great Wolf Lodge. You got it, Amy.
My kids loved Great Wolf Lodge when we went. You probably already know that it has a huge indoor water park with a wave pool, lazy river, a bunch of massive water slides. But then your pack can hit the other attractions because wait, there's more.
Great Wolf Lodge has adventure-packed attractions like Magi Quest, a live-action game kids can play throughout the lodge, plus the Northern Lights Arcade. Spent some quality time there, so your kid who loves the lazy river and your kid who loves fantasy games will both have a great time.
Great Wolf Lodge also offers great dining options and complimentary daily events like nightly dance parties, all under one roof. Unpack the car once and you're settled in to have fun. And with 22 lodges across the country, you're always a short drive away from adventure.
We've both had such great times at Great Wolf Lodge, so bring your pack together at a lodge near you. Learn more at greatwolf.com and strengthen the pack. Hello and welcome to Fresh Take from What Fresh Hell, Laughing in the Face of Motherhood. This is Margaret, and today I'm talking to Loryn Brantz. She is an author, artist, poet, and director. She is the creator of 2 best-selling board book series, Feminist Baby and It Had to Be You, love poems your baby can see, and is also a 2-time Emmy Award winner for her work on Sesame Street. She is currently a consulting creative director for the beloved children's education program, Ms. Rachel. Her debut poetry collection, Poems of Parenting, is available now wherever books are sold. Welcome, Loryn.
Hi.
So nice to meet you. So we hear from your biography that you've been involved in a ton of different creative endeavors, including working on 2 of the most definitive children's shows of our time. So tell us a little bit about your background and how that led to this book of poetry.
I went to school for traditional animation, like Disney style, and then realized that it was not how I imagined it would be. So started leaning more into children's books and things like that. And I also got an internship at the Jim Henson Company, which was amazing. And I didn't even realize that job existed. You just don't think about like the person putting the feathers on Big Bird or like making the oatmeal that Baby Bear's eating.
I have been at the Jim Henson headquarters in New York, and it is the most mind-blowing experience to see all of these adults walking around, living basically your childhood dream. Like, it's just such a surreal experience. Like, look at these people making amazing creative things for kids.
Yeah, it's very magical. It really feels like you're doing something positive for the world, and it's creative. So I ended up staying there for 5 years, working on props and puppets, and then I was doing licensed illustration work because I was also doing children's books at the same time.
Writing children's books, working on your own books.
Writing and illustrating. And then I did licensed illustration, which was like, Splat the Cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the books that Rob Scoten didn't have time to illustrate, I would illustrate.
Wow.
And like the, easy readers and stuff. And I ended up working at Buzzfeed for a really long time, for like 10 years, writing and illustrating and directing animation. I've been friends with Rachel for a long time and both admire each other's work. And at a certain point, we realized she had a lot going on that I have a lot of expertise in, like puppets and books. So I joined up with her and left Buzzfeed. And then unrelated to that, I had I was just doing too much and I was parenting too much and the whole family had colds and we were all sick. And I finally got Ronan to go to sleep, my baby, my 2-year-old. And I was looking at pictures of him on my phone. And then he started to cry and it woke me, or like didn't wake me, but I'm like so tired and delirious.
No
I don't
problem.
know how anybody promotes a book while having 2 small kids. I'm like, did I write a book? I don't know.
I think you did. I'm holding it in my hand, so I'm pretty sure it happened, but I very much identify.
Yeah, my daughter woke up at 5 today. She's waking up early. And I'm just like, I'm toast.
You're like, this is not part of the book tour, dear. This is not part of the plan.
Yeah, I barely did a book tour. I don't know how anyone does anything that's not like quietly drawing alone. Like I'm just so anyways.
Well, that is kind of how it started, right? Quietly drawing alone. I mean, I think what I like about your story, because Amy and I both have kind of similar stories, being creatives and being like, and then I lived in a van doing comedy. And then someone saw one show.
I was at the Run Fair.
And I got an agent. But then I was terrible at doing commercials. So I got fired from all of them. Like that is kind of how a creative life finds you, hopefully, if you're lucky. And so you have a young baby at home and you're doing illustrations at night. Is that right?
I thought of the first poem that night. And then I thought of like 50 poems. And then I just couldn't stop writing them. And I ended up, taking a step back from everything else to focus on making this book.
And you were putting them out online, correct? On Instagram?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I started posting them the next day. And the rest is history. It's my 12th book, but it's my first book for adults.
Your other book were all for kids. You're walking, as Amy and I have as well, from the children, like creation side to the experience side. Like there's a thing about coming behind that motherhood door where you're starting to create the stuff that you kind of wish had existed, or it's just like very natural to you that like, this is how I've expressed myself my whole life in this way, but now I'm expressing myself this way as a mom.
Yeah, it's a difference.
Something that struck me about the book, and I'm going to compare you to Amy Winehouse, and you have kind of an Amy Winehouse-esque ponytail today. So very appropriate. I was watching this documentary a long time ago about Amy Winehouse, and she was talking about how when she was coming up, the new kind of more feminist or independent kind of songwriters were writing a lot of songs that were like, I don't need a man and I'm fine on my own. And she was like, I loved the songs of the 60s that were like, if you break up with me, I'm not going to survive. Like I take every breath for you. And this book really struck me because I come as a comedian from kind of the cynical side of parenting and tend to be like, my annoying kid's crazy, blah, blah, blah. And there's something, the straightforward love in this book for kids. And you said that about the Jim Henson Company. There's just people who just love kids. And there's something vulnerable about that. I think that the comedy is a little bit shielding from what's scary about having kids, but you kind of lean straight into like, I just love these kids.
Oh, I'm so happy that came across because I do love them so much. And right before the book came out, I was like, is this a little too like, is this not loving enough? But I'm glad people seem to be able to see the love that comes through. And I feel that with Amy Winehouse too. I mean, I'm such a feminist, but my husband's like my hero. I don't know how I would do any of this without him. He really does a lot. And I love my kids too and being a mom.
Yeah, I know a bunch of people who work in children's television, and there was a wave of movies, which were great, like Shrek and other movies that took this very kind of cynical, like me kind of, we're all in on the joke of what a children's movie is. It was like a second lens to children's programming, which was kind of aimed at parents. And I think parents loved it in the same way that parents love content that's like, this isn't all great, actually. Like I'm having a hard time and sometimes I'm going crazy. But there is something lovely about the more like Sesame Street Henson approach that doesn't necessarily try to wink at anything. It's just like, kids are great. We love them.
Yeah, I feel pretty, because, I've worked in the children's media, the children's shows, children's books, and then this is for adults. And I feel pretty strongly about keeping them separate. Like, I think kids media should be for kids and should be very purposeful and like experts involved and written for them. And when it gets too winky for the adults, it's like, just make a show for adults. Like, the kids that really need, like, children's media is so important. They're watching this every day while their brains are literally developing. They need it to be really for them. And then, adult books should be for adults. It makes it better, I think.
Yeah. And the Sesame Street tradition is like educational programming and really learning. And that is approaching kids with a certain kind, it's love. And it's like a very trusting relationship that you have with kids when you create that kind of media. I am talking to Loryn Brantz. She is the author of the new book, Poems About Parenting, and we'll be right back.
Hellions, it's time for some spring cleaning, and I don't just mean the coat closets. Doing your financial spring cleaning can actually be super easy when you let Monarch do your financial spring cleaning for you. One dashboard that gets your entire financial life organized. No more clutter, no more mess, no more logins scattered everywhere, just accounts, investments, property, and more, all in one place. Get your first year of Monarch for half off, just $50 with promo code FRESH. Monarch allows you to look not only at what you've already spent, but also to plan for the future. With Monarch, you can set savings goals, plan for big purchases, and notice spending trends before they become a problem. I can generate cash flow reports that show me what we spent this quarter, this month, what we're probably going to spend next month, and feel prepared, organized, and knowing how to plan for the future. No more surprises and a lot more clarity. Try Monarch. Use code FRESH at monarch.com to get your first year half off at just $50. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code FRESH.
Amy, when I'm having a good hair day, it usually makes my whole day better. And that's why on every day, I'm taking Nutrafol.
Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand. And it's the #1 hair growth supplement brand personally used by dermatologists. Nutrafol's hair growth supplements are peer-reviewed, NSF certified for sport, and clinically tested.
Nutrafol offers multiple formulas for men and women, tailored to different life stages and lifestyle factors, so you get support that's actually right for you. Adding Nutrafol to your daily routine is easy. Order online, no prescription needed, with automated deliveries and free shipping to keep you on track.
Let your hair be one less thing to worry about. See visibly thicker, stronger, faster-growing hair in 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol.
For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you visit Nutrafol.com and enter promo code LAUGHING.
That's Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code LAUGHING. All my kids learned to swim when they were little. It was super important to me that they be confident and safe in the water. There was only one problem with that: taking them to swim lessons. I mean, the pools were freezing. There were always cranky adults doing laps right there. And it was definitely not, for any of us, what you would call fun.
Amy, heard. But now there's Goldfish Swim School. Goldfish takes a really thoughtful approach to swim lessons, combining research-based teaching with a warm, kid-friendly environment that actually helps kids thrive in the water.
Every detail at Goldfish is thoughtfully designed to create a golden experience, from shiver-free, warm indoor pools to comfy waiting areas for parents to professionally trained lifeguards on deck.
Goldfish uses an approach called the science of swim play, which combines guided play with proven teaching techniques to help kids learn to swim, build water safety skills, and gain confidence, all at their own pace. Lessons are designed to meet kids exactly where they're at.
If you've been thinking about swim lessons or just wondering where to start, this is a great opportunity. Right now, Goldfish Swim School is offering a waived membership plus your child's first lesson free at participating locations.
Just visit goldfishswimschool.com/free to find a location near you and enroll using promo code FREE.
That's goldfishswimschool.com/free, promo code FREE.
So I grew up on Shel Silverstein, can still recite at least 40 of those poems directly from memory. And the black and white illustrations in this book definitely gave me some of that warm, fuzzy Shel Silverstein vibes. Who were some of your influences growing up and starting to work on this book?
I love Shel Silverstein, and I don't think I really realized that he influenced me because I was making the poems and posting them, and someone commented, kind of reminds me of Shel Silverstein. And I was like, oh, you know, if you're going to be compared to someone, I'll be compared to him.
It's a good one.
And then I revisited his books, and I was like, oh, yeah, I could totally see the influence, but I didn't like consciously put it together. They are very different.
Oh, yeah, it's not a dupe at all. The poems themselves are very different, but there's a sort of whimsy about the approach. It's hard for me to pin down. I'm sure somebody could analyze it better, but there's a sort of whimsicalness about it and the drawings that it's just like, oh, it feels familiar, but not the same.
I mean, I'm a fan of him. And I honestly think I'm most influenced by artists I've actually met in real life, like the Accursos, Rachel and Aaron, and Nathan Pyle. He does Strange Planet. We worked together for a long time at Buzzfeed.
So good. He's the alien guy, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've gotten a greeting card from him, I guarantee it. If you don't know who he is, you actually do know who he is.
For sure.
And there's that sense of humor that goes into it.
Yeah. So funny. And they all just are always trying to do like the right thing. You know, it's never for views or this or that. It's like for the art, for people, for kids. And I find it really inspiring.
So some of the different topics in the book is kind of chronological. It follows, I think, your second child, right? Is that right?
It says both kids. I kind of go back and forth between the kids, and then I put it in order from like newborn to maybe 4 years old.
And were the poems just coming to you one at a time? Were you trying, I guess you weren't organizing them anyway. You didn't do it as a book.
You know, it was the darndest thing. It just kind of came out. And then when my editor wanted to, you know, see them all together, and she suggested like putting them in order, I was like, I don't know if there's even enough for each section or how that would work. But then when I organized them, there was exactly enough for 4 sections and the right ages, and it just worked out. That was it felt magical.
And so you weren't thinking, you were just basically reacting to things that were happening day to day. Like today was a tantrum day, today was a throwing up on me day, or whatever the day happened to be.
Yeah, every poem is a moment when I'm with my child and I'm like, either like horrified or like amazed
or delighted.
It turned into a poem, or delighted, or memory.
And were you writing them as they happened? I mean, were you noticing things during the day and then writing them later?
The first bunch of them was all at once, so that wasn't with them. But then from there, now it's like during the day when I'm with them, I kind of usually just like do a quick note on my phone and then come back to it later to make it make more sense. Or I do like a voice recording.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. And for moms who are maybe sitting at home with babies, feeling a little overwhelmed and feel like they have something they're trying to do, is there any advice you would give to people? Or was it all just so organic that you're like, this is what kind of happened?
It was very organic, but I will say that mindfulness really helps me in my life and trying to do all the things. Just being focused on what you're doing when you're doing it. So like when I'm with my kids, I'm with my kids. And then like I'll have a spark of an idea and I do that. But then when I'm doing the work, putting it together, drawing it, I try to focus on that. And I do try to meditate. I feel like meditating is such like a obnoxious advice. Everyone's like, oh, meditate. But
we're very big pro meditating here, which if you had told me 10 years ago that I would talk about meditating, I would have said like, I don't know who you're talking about. But I think that motherhood is such a lack of stillness and such a lack of quiet. And that can lead to a lack of self at a certain point. And I'm just a skeptical person. And I would have always been like, okay, meditation, whatever. I lived in LA. I get it. Everybody meditates. But I do think that giving of yourself to a child is important and valuable, but that you have to watch the backside of that where you're just kind of living it. I had 3 kids in diapers at one point, and I was really not doing well. I was really overwhelmed by it. And I actually needed something to, I won't say survive, but really find any personal happiness in getting through the day.
Yeah, I had the same exact thing. I feel like life gets so chaotic, so chaotic that like you end up having to figure out what the real meaning of inner peace is, like inner stillness, inner quiet, and not just like a face mask, a day at spa. It's like a Band-Aid. It's not the self-care.
Right. The manicure is not doing it. It's got to be a little bit deeper.
Yeah. I need to like find my inner kingdom of like peaceful heaven by meditating. And even if I do it just a little bit, like in the morning and stuff, and then I try to carry it with me when things are really chaotic, I notice there's a difference between me trying to stay calm for my children and like holding it all in, and me like breathing and actually trying to be calm. Because if you just try to like hold it all in, it's just gonna come up in you in different ways, like stomach aches and I don't know.
Stuff it down.
Yeah, not in the best ways. So like really trying to find real inner peace has been a part of my motherhood journey. Because it gets crazy here. It's a crazy journey. Yeah.
It's a crazy journey, guys. It's a crazy journey. Yeah. And I think that, I mean, I've talked before about Lin-Manuel Miranda talks about being like busy. He writes about it in Hamilton, right? That's the whole theme of the play is like, go, 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 go. And that his wife at some point was like, we are taking a vacation. He's like, can't vacation. I got to blah, 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 blah. And they went and sat on a beach somewhere and he bought the book Hamilton. And like, as he sat, it just came back in. And I think that for some of us who feel like we've lost our creativity as moms and that we used to be creative people and now we're moms. It's like you said, that pushing down, it's down in there, but you have to find the stillness to like drill down and tap it sometimes.
Yes. It makes space. It makes space in your brain for things to come in and out. Yeah.
Make space. That's exactly right. And so do you have working hours and mom hours? Like, do you have times where you take to create, or is it all sort of happening at the same time?
It's pretty messy, but it's pretty messy. Yeah.
Messy is the motto.
Between like 8:30 a.m. and 12 p.m. My son's with a nanny and my daughter's at school. And those are like real working hours. So do a lot of work then. And then the rest of it's just like chaos. Nap time is good too.
I will say there's something about that. I had the same thing. I had a daycare where I sent my kids from 8 to noon. And it's like, you got 4 hours.
You better get to work.
And some days I had a 3.5 hour nap, but some days I was like, this is my window and I'm going to get it done. Talk a little bit about creating on Instagram and how does that change your creative process? It's very immediate, right? It's not like you're working on an animation and 6 months later you see it in a theater or on TV complete. I find it really interesting I was a television writer and writing something and then you just see it so much later to now it's a very immediate format. People are like, I liked it. I didn't like it. I got it. I didn't get it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a mixed bag. On one hand, you get to reach more people and quicker and get to interact with people. I love talking to anyone that follows my work in the comments and everything. And then on the other hand, you get mean comments. And then the more insecurity and this and that. And I've tried to really, I didn't really put anything on the internet till I started working at Buzzfeed. And that was like a real crash course in being on the internet. Cause you're posting these articles and millions of views, like immediately. I thought I was having a heart attack, like my first month there. I went to like the cardiologist and really it was just like, I was wearing like I was wearing this heart monitor, like my second month in the office. Like, I don't know, I think I'm okay. But really, I think it was just, I was going viral a lot and it's comments and messages and throwing. So that was like I learned a lot and also sort of was able to detach from it more. Kind of like internet is internet, real life is real life. And like, I love being able to share positive things with the world, but also like just try to, I don't know, take it all with a grain of salt. There's things you can't control, like algorithms and billionaires, like deciding what's being shown. So I try not to take it personally, like whatever's happening, but it is a little, I don't even know. I don't know how to, it's a little weird.
Also, I found working on big teams and you're creative and then this medium, it's myself and Amy, but it's just, we have a ton of control, but then we're also the only ones to blame. If you didn't I'm like, oh, the editors messed that up or, oh, they did it wrong. The executives came in and screwed that up, which was kind of nice. Now it's like, if you don't like it, you just didn't like what I did.
Yeah. I like the autonomy of social media.
Yeah. Autonomy is big for me. I am talking to Loryn Brantz. She is the author of Poems of Parenting. And when we come back, we're going to hear some of the poems of parenting themselves.
You know that thing where you get an amazing pair of shoes at a really great price and want to tell everyone about it? Yeah, so do we. Here at Designer Shoe Warehouse, we'll give you something to brag about, like the latest styles from brands you love, or the trends everyone's obsessing over, or shoes that make you feel like, well, you. So go ahead, show off a little. Find shoes that get you at prices that get your budget. Head to your DSW store or DSW.com today. DSW, let us surprise you.
My favorite skincare products actually feel more like self-care, like they're so nice to put on and they smell so good that I'm actually happy when I get to that part of my day. And I swear that is how I feel about Osea's anti-aging body balm.
Amy, you are usually the lotions and potions queen on this podcast, but I have to say, hard agree.
Osea's anti-aging body balm is a liquid silk body balm that combines the lasting hydration of a lotion with the firming power of a serum, leaving skin smoother and firmer.
This body balm is clinically tested and designed to deliver visible results you can see and feel.
So we've gotten to use this product for a couple of months now, and I swear I have really noticed firmer and smoother skin, like on the back of my hands. It's like getting a mini spa treatment from head to toe.
Get a spring-worthy glow with clean, clinically tested skincare from Osea. And right now, we have a special discount just for our listeners.
Get 10% off your first order site-wide with code FRESH at OseaMalibu.com.
That's 10% off your first order with code FRESH at OSEAMalibu.com. So, Loryn, there were so many quotables in this book. I'm going to hold up my copy. I have so many marked poems in here because there were so many that just, there's a couple of them. It gives you that, there's a great feeling in a poem when you get to a line and you kind of do that sharp intake of breath, like, oh, it got me. And there are so many of those little moments in this book that I loved. So the first one I want you to read is from section 1, and it is on page 4, and it is called This Tall to Ride.
This tall to ride. I waited and worried for 2 pink lines. I waited and worried for the weeks to go by. I waited and worried for you to arrive. I waited and worried to make sure that you thrive. I waited and worried and waited and worried and waited until I realized I'm missing one heck of a ride. And I always do like a picture book. Like there's illustrations.
Yeah, you have to see it. It has a roller coaster. Talk a little bit about this poem. It certainly spoke to me. I mean, it has a lot of resonance with the anxious parents, of whom I am one.
Yeah, I mean, me too. Parenthood is such a journey for everyone, no matter how it went. But for us, we did IVF, and there was a lot of waiting, a lot of worrying, a lot of setbacks. And I remember going on vacations after a miscarriage and this and that, and I was never able to really fully enjoy them because I always had this on my mind. And looking back, wow, we had like a vacation, just us, like in like a beautiful place, and it was like quiet. Like I should have really.
No one was looking for me when I woke up in the morning. Why didn't I enjoy that?
Like the kids were going to come. It was going to happen. I should have really been there for it.
Yeah. This is how we become the women in the supermarket who are like, enjoy every minute, enjoy. It goes too fast.
Yeah. And then now, you have your kid and a lot of anxiety after my daughter was born. She's doing great. But it never really ends. So it's about really just being present and not worrying about the future, which is applicable to like anything in life.
Totally applicable. And having kids who are now teenagers and one who's a junior in high school, there's no finish line. I mean, there's no finish line for friends of mine who have kids who are 50. It just, that feeling of everything will be okay when I get pregnant. Everything will be okay when the baby's born. Everything be okay if the baby's healthy. Okay, the baby maybe has some issues. Okay, now everything will be okay when we figure that out. Or everything will be okay when they make the soccer team. It's just that pull of parenthood. It's the biggest enemy, I think, to like maternal joy, is the feeling of I'm on a race to get somewhere so that everything turns out okay.
I mean, also life too. It's like, oh, when the book comes out, I'll be more relaxed. Oh, when I start working out again, or this or that's over. It's the same thing,
It's John Lennon. Life is what happens to you when you're busy making other plans. It's like, that's it. And the older I get, the more I look at times that I have spent doing that. And it's very natural. I mean, we are the stewards of our kids, and it is an awesome responsibility. And we do have kids who have really difficult situations or needs, or just really need to make the soccer team. And it's not in our minds. I mean, it's real, but I think that simple encapsulation of this is the ride is just, it's deep. Part 1 is wrinkly baby bean. This is the newborn phase, right? Part 2 is called squishy dumpling babyhood. So I want you to read on page 42, The Limits of My Mind.
The limits of my mind. That nose, those cheeks and lashes, small toes, meeting you, seeing you, showed me there are limits of my imagination, because I never, ever could have conjured up in my mind someone so shockingly, utterly, painfully perfect. I feel this every day. Ask my husband, every day to my husband, I'm like, can you believe how cute our kids are? Like, can you believe? I can't believe it. It's incredible. I'm amazed by them every day.
I mean, we were talking about it earlier, but I take such delight. I sometimes think, maybe because I come from a comedy background, or I come from like a very cynical Irish Catholic family, that I just marked this. And I do feel that same delight, but sometimes I feel like almost a block from expressing it in such a simple, beautiful way. And I do with my kids, but I think there's just something beautiful in being like, these kids are awesome and adorable.
Well, I come from like a Jewish New York background. So everything thought just comes right out. There's no...
It seems lovely to me. It must have problems of its own.
Yeah, this is pluses and minuses.
It must have its own limitations. But when I look at it, I'm like, look at this person who just said they love their child. That seems shocking to me, but in a really beautiful way. Do you read these poems to your kids?
Some of them. Actually, I haven't read that many to them.
And you said these poems are more particularly for parents.
Yeah, they're for adults. And the kids are very young. My daughter likes me to read some of them, but I definitely haven't read all of them.
Enjoy that while it lasts. My children now don't like when I even breathe in the same room as them. Like, please get away from me, weirdo. And certainly don't drive near my school. Which is fun in its own way.
It's wild. What a difference. I mean,
it is. And it's so funny because I remember when my kids were little, just thinking like, we are one. We are a golden orb of binary stardom. Like this will never happen. And I actually have a kid right now who's really like right in puberty. And I said to my husband last night, I have to make a note to stop. Like I literally have to write a Post-it note that says, don't ask him what's wrong. Because every day when he walks in, I'm like, what's going on? What's wrong? What's wrong? Hey, bestie, what's going on? What's bothering you? And he's like, move away from me. But the phases themselves, there can be some pain in them, but there's something delightful in that too. Like, look at you getting big. Look at you having your own personality. It's kind of disturbing, but also kind of lovely in its own way. Part 3, spicy little nugget. This is toddlerhood activated. So this poem, it doesn't actually have a page number on the page, but it is page 97. So helpful.
So helpful. Thank you. So helpful to me. Folding the clothes from the laundry. Thank you. So helpful indeed. You're really smushing them up and pulling them out. This is taking 20 times longer than it normally would. But it actually is so helpful for me to slow down a little. Never knew chores could be this sweet, really.
This is a topic we've talked kind of a lot about on the podcast, about being with our children and being with our children as they are, and that it can be so difficult to really take time. That baking with children is extremely messy. It's so much better to do it yourself. It's better it's faster and easier and less frustrating to do everything for them. But that the learning comes in obviously letting them do it. But it's hard. But I love this take on it, which is the gift is you're letting me slow down.
Yeah, honestly, it depends how much time you have. So it's like if we're, just doing laundry and we don't have anywhere to be, just let him mess up the laundry and it's fun until it gets done. And then, just last night I was trying to make dinner and it's late for dinner time. We have like a pretty strict schedule. I think most people have dinner time, bedtime. If they don't get in bed at the right time, it's like, who knows?
We got a problem.
Happen. Yeah, we got a problem. It'll be a bad night. And my daughter was like trying to help me in the kitchen, but it was like, we have this tiny kitchen and there's like flames on the stove. She's just like waving things around. I was like, this is not helpful to me. I had to,
this might not be the time for learning.
Yeah. What did I do? I set her up with like not a real task for dinner. And that was like putting, berries in cups. And I was like, can you just put these berries in these cups? And,
yes. This is the most important and helpful thing you could possibly do for mommy right now.
Dinner will not happen without one berry per tiny cup.
Yeah. And there's nothing prescriptive for moms that is always right. To say, well, you have to let the kids help you fold the laundry because that's how they're learning. Listen, if you haven't slept at all and you need clean clothes and you just want to get the task done and get out the door, that's maybe not the time for the learning. And open flames on the stove, too.
It's definitely, it depends, and this is just like a moment. These are all just a moment. And then there's moments when it's not helpful in any way. Yeah. It's dangerous.
Not quite as helpful. When the flames are going, it's just berries in the cups, guys. Exactly. Let's go to part 4, Saucy String Bean. Surrender to parenthood. This is your life now. And this poem, it's kind of on a similar theme. And this is on page 144.
Life is so full, so busy, so much. Something will have to suffer and get less attention. And for that, I choose clutter. Toys rain down on me. Let's dance in this trash storm. We'll remember dancing best. The background is just a blur. You will forget the messy rest.
There's something about these, it gets me. I feel like it activates a part of me that I like to engage. I try to engage more, which is just, so we had an expert talking on the podcast, and we talk a lot about the problems because that's what our podcast is. Like, let's solve problems. And she said, we wanted these kids. We really wanted them. And then sometimes they arrive and we just see them as problems to be solved. And like, I think that this book, I kept thinking of that quote when I was reading this, because this book is just finding these like very magical moments where it's as good as we dreamed it could be. And it's not always like that, but it's so magical. It gets me. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it.
I appreciate that so much. The fact that you can feel that through the book, it's just wonderful. Because I do feel like there's just so many magical moments every day with kids and just being alive where you're just like, oh, we did it. We're here. Who cares if there's like clutter? It's just clutter. It'll go away eventually.
Right. And it's just a season or a moment. And like, this is where we are right now. And that's joyful. And I think at a time where people in general and as parents are feeling a tremendous amount of anxiety and looking in 800 different directions, this book is a lovely reminder to sometimes just look at your kids, because there's a world there that we can miss if we're kind of looking around at all the bad.
Yeah, they're never going to be, the stage again. It's so special. Like the things they do. I mean, we've been playing this game where we're pretending to steal a cookie jar from the kitchen, and like everyone just thinks it's so fun. And like, when they're 18, they're not going to want to play who stole the cookie jar from the kitchen, and it's like this espresso pot, and they're all like laughing and running.
Probably not.
Probably not. And it's just it's a really special thing.
It is. It's special. And I'm here from the future to say at 16, at least, that's my oldest, it's still, this magic is all still there. It's just like you have to look for it to see it. And it's not our fault that the world, with all of its problems and all of its difficulty for moms, pulls our eyes away from it. But this book is a lovely reminder to look. Loryn, thank you so much. I'm such a big fan of yours. We'll link to the book, where you can buy it. It'll be on our bookshop, and so you can buy a copy there. But tell our audience where they can find more of your work.
You can follow me on Instagram. That's probably where I post the most. My name's Loryn Brantz, Loryn. This is spelled Brantz. And everything's there. Yeah.
We will link to that. So if you're driving or folding laundry with your kids, you do not have to find a pen. It will be right in the show notes underneath this episode. And Loryn, thank you so much for talking to me today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
And the book is called Poems of Parenting, and it's available now. And there it is.
Thank you.
Thanks, Loryn.